I'm Michael Morrison, and today I'm going to be talking to you about why most wholesalers fail, why most newbie wholesalers never do a deal and ultimately quit. Let's talk about some of the key things that a newbie wholesaler can do to ensure that they don't fall to the same fate as most newbie wholesalers and end up getting discouraged and ultimately end up quitting the business before they do any deals. So the first thing that newbie wholesalers do is get obsessed with money and checks, right? So they're in all these different Facebook groups and they're seeing people post checks. They're seeing people showing wads of money and how they're bragging about how they're doing so many deals per week, so many deals per month. What I encourage newbie wholesalers to do is to completely tune out that noise. Turn out that noise because you're supposed to be in the business to help others and also to make money, but your number one thing to do in any transaction is to attempt to bring value to the motivated sellers or distressed sellers that you come in contact with. A lot of newbie wholesalers forget that as they start seeing the possibilities of making money. So, number one, always bring value, and the money and the checks will ultimately come. Let's move on to another reason why wholesalers fail and newbie wholesalers end up quitting the business in the first year of being involved in real estate investing. Fear. Fear is a huge reason why people do not get started. They don't make efforts because they're afraid of door knocking. They're afraid of cold calling. They're afraid of failing, and they're afraid of being told no. So the one thing that you can do to combat that spirit of fear is to establish a winning mindset. You cannot replace a winning mindset. It starts up here, and then it goes deep into your heart, and it translates into the actions that you do daily. So fear is another key reason why newbie wholesalers fail in this business. So we're going to learn ways to separate ourselves from naysayers, from negativity, from negative Facebook group, from negative family members. We want to dispel that spirit of fear and have a positive mindset because you can do this, but you can't be scared. All right, let's look at another possibility for individuals failing in their first year of being involved in real estate investing and more importantly, being involved in wholesaling. Tunnel vision. Tunnel vision is a real problem that I see perpetuated in a ton of groups full of newbies that talk about how they're obsessed with wholesaling and they don't want to learn any other methodology of investing in real estate. Well, the key in any type of investing is understanding that diversification is key. So if you only care about wholesaling, you're going to miss the opportunity to do a bunch of different types of deal because every deal is not going to require you to wholesale it. So learning different methods of investing is going to be key to you being able to make money and for you not to feel like you're always spinning your wheels. There are going to be some instances that wholesaling just simply don't make sense. So we're going to learn some great alternatives that are low money, low risk, and high reward. One of the other options is subject to. Subject to is not talked about by a lot of people, but subject to is also another opportunity for individuals to get involved in real estate investing with low money, low risk, and can reap higher rewards. And one of my favorite things about subject to is you actually have a real interest in the property because you actually own the property. You have an ownership stake in the property. I'm not going to bog you down with talking about subject twos, but that's something I want you to think about. Don't get blindsided by just always thinking about wholesaling. Be diversified. All right, let's look at the next key or reason that a lot of newbie wholesalers fail within their first year of real estate investing. They lack market knowledge. A ton of wholesalers don't have the prerequisite skills that a ton of experienced investors have. They don't understand how markets work, and they don't understand the most efficient way to invest in real estate based on their specific market. So let's talk about some of the things you can do to ensure that you have an understanding of your local market. The first thing you want to know about is your DOM, stands for days on market. You want to know the average of how long properties are staying on the market because that gives you insight about how hot your market is. The next thing you want to know is your average home price, because if you have a house under contract as a wholesaler, but the average home price is about $200,000, you need to know where your market is. You want to know where your pool of potential buyers are so it'll be easier for you to assign that contract. And the last and most important thing that you can know about your market is your market absorption rate. I'm going to show you a quick diagram of how market absorption rate works. So market absorption rate works on a continuum on months, right? 0 months all the way up to 12 months. At 6 months, you're at a neutral market. At 0 months, you're at a hot market. At 12 months, you're at a cold market. And at 3 months, this is what you would call a seller's market. And at 9 months, you're at a buyer's market. That simple number allows you to understand the supply of houses on the market at a specific time. So in a 30-day span, this number tells you what month supply of houses are on the market. So knowing how to do that calculation is going to put you head and shoulders above any other wholesaler in your market. All right, so another reason why a ton of newbies fail at wholesaling and ultimately quit their first year is they live their life deal to deal. A ton of people talk about how one deal can change my life. Now that's true, but understanding that if you're just living for one deal, it's not going to be life changing over the course of time. If you do one deal, it's just one deal. You have to set yourself up to do multiple deals and establish a pipeline where you have leads coming in and understanding how to run your business. We're going to talk about that later, but understanding that living a deal-to-deal lifestyle is living on hopes and dreams. We want to build with a solid foundation to ensure that we can continue to do business, continue to do deals year after year. So don't live deal to deal, build an efficient business model. Another thing that newbies fail to do is establish a great team. A lot of newbies get into the business after watching YouTube University and watching all the videos and content out there and feel like they're an expert at everything. Everybody needs a team. Because if you're a newbie wholesaler, you can't serve as a title company. You can't serve as a realtor. You can't serve as an attorney, an inspector, and a person that's a contractor. Newbies get into this business and think because they read one book and watched 2 webinars, they know everything. It's going to be incumbent upon you to build an effective team. The best wholesalers and the investors that progress over time and become the big major players in your market, they have a team. Believe me, they have acquisition managers. They have their go-to contractor. They have their go-to attorney. And they have a real estate agent on their team that's willing to run comps for them because they have a great working relationship. So it's important that you understand that you do need a team and you need help to ensure that you can grow your business. Another reason why newbies fail at wholesaling is the lack of knowledge about value propositions. We all heard the old adage, hey, I buy houses. Well, the response to that you're going to get to that is, whoop-de-doo, good for you. I'm glad you buy houses, so what? And a lot of newbies wonder why they get the door slammed in their face and why they get the phone hung up on them when they tell the individual that, hey, I want to buy your house. There's a reason for that, because you're not providing a great value proposition. So what's a value proposition? Well, a value proposition is you presenting a solution to a problem, or for you providing help to a person in need. So if we're talking about a person facing pre-foreclosure, you need to wrap your mind around the ways that you can assist a person facing pre-foreclosure. If a person is in probate, that's one of the most touchy situations because obviously it involved the death of someone. So you need to understand how to navigate those conversations by providing great value propositions, great solutions, and being able to solve problems for other people. Not just saying, hey, I buy houses. Because if you're not providing value, if you're not providing help, you're always going to be at a disadvantage when you're conversing with a potential seller. Now, let's talk about one of the most important reasons, that some people succeed and some people fail their first year in real estate investing, and that's coaching. Even Michael Jordan needed a coach. Even Kobe Bryant needed a coach, and they were the best at their skill set. Everybody needs coaching. Some of the most coached individuals in this business are real estate agents. Real estate agents pay upwards of $1,000 for coaching. Understanding that you need coaching is going to be key to you being successful in this business. It creates that singular voice in your mind, right? Because you're always looking at materials online. I'm sure you're a graduate of YouTube University and you feel like you've learned everything. But you get in a state of analysis paralysis because you don't know what to do next because you have so many voices in your ear telling you this is the way to do it. Oh, don't do this. Oh, this makes sense. Having that coach is the only way to circumvent the 10,000 hours it's going to take you to master the skill sets to be successful in real estate investing. Having coaching is going to prevent you from getting discouraged, and it's also going to provide you with a higher level of support to ensure that you have accountability, to ensure that you're closing deals and doing what's necessary to grow your business. Now, one of the most important things And overarching things that most newbies forget to do is build an accurate and success-driven business plan. Now, if you live deal to deal, you won't think about a business plan. If you're living for the next deal, you're not thinking about legacy. So many newbies in real estate investing throw the word legacy around and establishing a new culture of wealth in their family. But you're not going to do that living deal to deal. You're only going to be able to do that by building a concrete and comprehensive business plan that's centered on earnings and centered on spending. So you have to understand how to limit your spending and maximize your earnings. Establishing a business plan is the most important way to ensure that you have longevity in investing, to ensure that you don't quit your first year, to ensure you don't quit after you do deal 1 or deal number 2. It's going to be important that you establish an effective business plan centered on earnings and spending. You want to control your spending and limit your spending, meaning that your cost per close needs to be suppressed. If you do effective means of prospecting, that's the best way for you to limit the amount of money that you're putting out for each deal that you're closing. We use a process called circle prospecting, where you're circling back and retargeting individuals with mailers, Facebook messaging, ads. There's a ton of ways that you can retarget individuals and present them with those fine-tuned value propositions to ensure that you have the ability to close more deals. Now, in doing that, you want to make sure you pull down your price per close, because individuals that are spending $5,000, I've heard people brag about the amount of money they spend monthly on advertising. In my personal opinion, there's no reason to brag about that. If you want to brag about something, brag about your revenue, brag about your earnings. So at Real Newbies, we really focus in on limiting the amount of money that you put out and increasing the amount of money that you could possibly make on each deal. Most importantly, don't quit. Don't give up. Make sure you join a community of individuals that are going to provide you with support and not judge you, making sure you have the right mindset to be successful. If you feel like you want to learn more about real estate investing and establishing a business plan, we have a comprehensive The Business of Real Estate Investing course. It's 100% free, and we provide you a ton of tools that assure that you're going to be successful. I hope you remember to always bring value and understand that the money will come.